Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to put an Aero Ranger kit into any old car. This is a T-Roc and let's get going. So I'm just going to open this case up and it's what everything you get is in the case. So you've got the Aero Ranger unit, the iPad, your brackets, camera brackets. There's some accessories underneath. That's a power cable just there, and underneath there is a bracket for the iPad as well. So let's get straight into installing this kit into this little car. So the way that this video has been recorded, it's like a first-person perspective. It's a really good way of showing you exactly how to do it. Let's go into the power, and then you've got 4 ports of PoE, and you have some antennas along with a couple of other ports I didn't mention. You don't need to know about them, so just plonk that there. It's good to go, and let's start wiring these cameras in. So there's 2 sets of cameras, one for the left and one for the right, and some cables to put it in, and it's really just a case of putting these brackets on the windows. Got to turn the ignition on. Let's do that. And these window brackets are easily designed to be sort of just added to the windows just by bringing the windows down, and then you can just slip them on and then put the windows back up again. So that's quite easy. And once that's done, you just put the cables through the back of the seats, depending on what model car you've got, and that's it. So you can see there's a GPS module on this side. The GPS module usually goes on the left hand side, closest to the parked cars, but it's just on a magnet there. So pass the cables through. May need to do a little bit of untangling depending on how quickly you got it out the car or how the person packed away the demo kit last time. Give them some words if they haven't done it correctly. Just pass that through. So this smaller one is the antenna for the RTK GPS. So just push that through and we'll stick it in. So there's 3 little antenna ports, and they're labeled, so just put that one into the one that says GPS. The other 2 are Wi-Fi and LTE, so we've got an antenna for that. But before we do that, let's start adding in the cameras. So these are special cables, like aviation cables, that we've created specifically for this this particular camera, and they are male and female, so you can only get them in the right way, and also you can only get them in on the right rotation. So it's very easy, and you can't get it wrong. So just line it up. There is a little arrow on the top of that particular connector. I was obviously doing it wrong, and you'll see it there. And once you've got that connected in, just screw it in nice and tight. And then the other end, yeah, it's just a case of feeding it through. Cable management's really important, but in this demo I'm just putting it together as quickly as possible to show you how it's all done. So again, just line those 2 markers up, screw it up, and there's a little kind of sheath that goes across for weather proofing. Everything has a weatherproofing IP65 to 68 depending on which bit you're looking at, and yeah, so that's all done. Great. Alright, so now what should we do? Next camera. Let's just do the one on the right hand side. Put it on, give it a bit of a squish. Now the design not to come off, so the power of the window should not push that off. However, it's probably advisable to disable those rear window motors whilst you've got the mounts on. You can also tether them from the inside if you wish. Okay, let's just put this cable in. Again, it's the same camera cable. These camera cables come with the power and also the data, so get that in, and that's all you need to do as far as from box to the camera itself. So let's feed that through and stick it in. Okay, just line those up again, screw it up and push the little cover across. So when you put the window up, just be mindful that some of these newer cars have like a auto drop for safety. You just have to tweak that so it's at the top. Of course, these are temporary cameras. They're designed for demos and easy installation. So if you want to add them more permanently, you can do that on the roof. Okay, so this is a antenna for LTE and the Wi-Fi. So this is just like a hockey puck. Again, you can put it anywhere in the car, but it's good if it is on a window or something. Comes with a bit of sticky tape. And then they're both labeled, so just screw in to the ports that they're labeled for. So that's all those three done. We've got the cameras done, and all we need now is power, I think. Alright, let's grab the power cable. Now, this Volkswagen isn't very good because it doesn't have one of those rear power cables. So the demo kits usually come with a 4-meter power cable as well, so you can thread it right the way through to the front of the car, where there is usually one of those cigarette lighter ports or 12-volt ports, whatever you want to call them now. And really just a case of threading that through. It comes with a power cable, a connector on one end, and the cigarette push-in on the other. So let's just screw that in. Again, it comes with a little guide, tell you where north is, so use that instead of just blindly pushing it in. And let's just thread that through. Alright, so let's jump in the front, grab that power cable, and the demo kits also come with like a 2-in-1 adapter, so that can go in there, and it's got room for USBs and another peripheral if you've got one. Anyway, we just include it, so it's nice and easy. Sometimes they pop out, and that's because it's a brand new cable. If that happens, just squeeze down that little pin on the end of the power cable like 5 or 6 times into a hard piece of metal or plastic. That will soften up the spring and it won't pop out. Okay, it will be on. So at that point, the kit turns on with the ignition, and you can just leave that on in the background whilst we start adding in the tablet. So the tablet comes with a bracket underneath. There it is. Just needs a bit straightening up. It's a rod of aluminium, and then there's a ball on the back of the tablet that you can just put in. Now, it's a universal mount. It fits most cars, probably 95% of cars. It'll fit, and it usually fits within a bolt just under the seat. So nearly all of them have a bolt at the beginning of the runner there, and you just loosen that up, put this into that runner, and then tighten that same bolt back up, and that's all you need to do. I'll speed this up because it is a bit boring. Just take that nut out. Some of them have a different style nut. So again, you don't need to have a stand, but it's just a nice to have, of course. And once we've done that and tightened it up, it's ready to go. This is probably the most mechanical thing of the whole install, but it does make things a lot easier once it's done. There we go. So yep, straighten that up again. That aluminium rod will be able to be straightened up and put where you wish, and yeah, just tighten the ball head a bit more, and that's it. So you just need to power it up, and that's what the adapter's for. It also comes with a cable in the demo box for just powering the iPad as well, so you can just put that in as an extra cable for power. Let's do that now. So I'm putting it straight into that adapter and into the iPad. Okay, now we're turning on. Okay, I think we're happy there. I'll just tidy up these. Again, I've made a mess with the cables, so you can spend as much time as you want on those cables and make them nice and neat. Obviously, if it's a permanent install, then you'll probably want to use an auto electrician to run the wires through the car, but we're good to go other than that. So, alright, let's start this iPad, and if you turn it on, the password by default is all zeros, and then you're straight in. So this is the companion app. There's two apps. One is red and one is blue. So jump into the red one, that's the companion app. It has a picture of a car on it. And you'll see that it's connected just here, and you can see all the status of the box. So nice and easy to do. Here we're just looking at the preview of the left and right hand cameras, just to see that the cameras are aligned correctly. Obviously tweak them if you think that you want to change the angle. The AI is so forgiving. Okay, that button was very simply to reload the data from the database. So at the moment it's connected. If you disconnect, or it gets disconnected at any time, it's probably because your Wi-Fi is the box. Now the box in the back emits a Wi-Fi hotspot, just like your home hotspot, internet hotspot. So find the hotspot. It usually starts with Aero, and you'll only have one because that's the only one that's near you. And once you've connected to it, you can get going. If it requires a password, the password is on the bottom of the edge box in the boot of the car. So you can always grab that if you need to, but by default the demo boxes are ready to go and the passwords are all installed. So just remember that the all zeros to get into the iPad, and then it's really a case of driving. So there's no additional things that are required in terms of monitoring or adjusting in terms of the app itself. Everything will load from the cloud and alerts will come in if they are required. So you'll be able to see this just from a status perspective, make sure that the actual vehicles are coming in, make sure the power's on, that kind of thing. But other than that, it's a case of driving around and doing the job as you normally would, and you'll be alerted if there is any vehicles that are on any watch lists, also if they're overstayed in any car parks, and other things as well. It's also, as you're driving around, doing a count of cars in this car park, and that can be used by the planners and the engineers in terms of utilization capacity of these particular car parks. So that's just an extra bonus, and that's how you add the vehicle kit into the car. Thanks guys for watching. We'll wrap it up here. If you've got any extra questions, reach out to your sales contact or email info@aeroranger.com and we'll get straight back to you. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.